Yo, what the heck is up, guys? It's your boy G Quiz.
And it's your boy T. Wheezy.
Yeah, my goodness, got a blown out voice, brother. But I mean, hey, the game must have been heckin' exciting.
I mean, the defense was on way too much, hence why my voice is still completely ruined.
It's all right, man. I'll be right there with you eventually. So, no,
That's right.
no worries. But we'll make sure to make this a quick one. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to go ahead and review all the games from our Week 2 slate. Give you our thoughts and feelings about everything that happened. Go ahead and mark up our book, see where we lie, and then, of course, make our predictions for the Thursday night football game against the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. Should be a very one-sided affair, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get into these games, Boog.
Let's do it, man. I'm excited and ready to go.
All right, hell yeah. So first and foremost, we had Green Bay at Atlanta. Atlanta was favored by -1.5. However, the final there was 25-24 Atlanta. What would you see from this one?
I mean, I saw an Atlanta offense that has managed to find a balance, even though Desmond Ritter still is just limited. Bijan Robinson looking like a rookie of the year candidate out here with the 120 yards. I saw Jordan Love was missing some weapons, and it definitely hurt them in this game. Weren't able to stop the late game rally of the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
But you,
I mean, Bijan Robinson had over 100 yards. Like, holy shit. Boy looked good out there, man. I saw a lot of early game Green Bay. Like, Jordan Love looked really comfortable in the pocket. He really came out, threw the ball well. But, again, late game, man. It's like what happened to their defense? One thing we talked about, the run defense was not there. And secondly, like, what the hell happened to their defense? I'll say it twice. Like, what? Like they were up big and they just gave this game away. I don't really understand what was going through their heads, but I'm really impressed out of what I'm seeing out of Bijan. Maybe they can get Kyle Pitts in the mix. I know Drake London had a touchdown, so finally, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of like questionable quarterback play that's really going to hold this Atlanta team back.
yeah. I mean, Desmond Ritter, I think the only person in the NFL who has not shown that he's a functional NFL quarterback the most besides Desmond Ritter is maybe Justin Fields. He just doesn't have the tools to take this team to the next level. They're going to continue to be an also ran even in the NFC South as long as they continue to rely on the old Cincinnati quarterback. I don't know what it's going to take, whether it's a reasonably high pick or they're going to have to make a trade. Maybe they could rest Matthew Stafford away from the Rams at some point. I don't know. I'm just talking out my butt, but they need somebody who can complement that strong running attack that they have and just be functional while creating one or two explosive plays a game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I completely agree. You want to talk about a team that was creating explosive plays? The Buffalo Bills, who hosted the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, of course, the Raiders came in fast. Jimmy G, the most handsome quarterback, Daddy Garoppolo, went ahead and got it done in the first quarter. As they went up on Buffalo, but then, of course, as we saw, the avalanche of just the Buffalo Bills really reeling off that Monday night embarrassing loss against the Jets, came back and put a burner on them. Buffalo by 8. I mean, goodness, I think they won by like 20 something. It was highly embarrassing. What was the final on that one, Boogie? My apologies, I don't have them pulled up.
Oh, no worries. It was the Raiders 10, Bills 38.
Yeah,
Just
crazy.
A really efficient game out of Josh Allen, throwing 31 for 37, no turnovers, 3 touchdowns. You appreciate a guy who can have such a bad showing the first week and manage to just completely turn it around the next week. We could probably just write off his struggles in the first week as being, rust, first week blues. Hopefully him him and Stephon Diggs have gotten on the same page as far as that goes. Probably the part that I'm impressed about, or maybe I don't know how this drive looks, but I'm seeing on the play-by-play a 15-yard or 15 play, 75-yard, 9-minute drive in the third quarter, and that ended in 7 points. So,
It's
you know,
a
if they
whole
can,
lot of Latavius Murray, bro.
oh my gosh, that actually must have been torture to watch. But you know, if they can, those third quarter like clock eating drives are the stuff that makes you champion. So,
Yeah,
you know,
100%, man.
the Bills might be 100% back. How about
Yeah,
you? What are you thinking?
I mean, I know that Josh Jacobs doesn't look good. That's what I know. I know
Mm,
that Daddy Garoppolo is having a tough time slinging it everywhere. I mean, of course, Devontae Adams ate, but no one else was really getting involved. But on
yeah.
the Buffalo side, again, like the resurgence of Latavius Murray, that was weird. He played really, really well, which is surprising because, like, huh? And
This
then,
guy just won't leave the league, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's almost
He's
turning
a
into.
Frank Gore type. He might end
Mm-hmm.
up in the Hall of Very Good off of this, despite being at best like the RB2 on every team he's been on. It feels like.
100%, man. It'll be interesting, how his body holds up over the course of the season. But I don't know, man. Buffalo looked like a buzzsaw, dude, and Josh Allen was just passing efficiently, very, very efficiently. Another quarterback who was passing extremely efficiently, of course, was Lamar Jackson, who went to visit the Cincinnati Bengals, who were favored -3. Son of a bitch. The final in this one was 27-24. Boogie, you wanna go first, and then I'll just ramble about this game.
You know, as being the guy on the ground for this game, you know, the thing that impressed me the most, and or maybe should scare me the most about the Bengals, is that that impressed me the most about the Ravens, scares me about the Bengals. The D line was getting absolutely no pressure that Lamar was taking seriously at all.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second week in a row that a quarterback with some like running skill has managed to completely nullify the advantage in the trenches that the Bengals generally have. Um, there's just, I mean that offensive line, despite missing two starters, managed to hold up and absolutely scatter the defensive line all over the field, keep them far away from Lamar, allow him to make decisions, and allowed him to find really huge seams to make just uh, momentum killing runs. Um, and on the other side of the ball, I mean, of course, Joe Burrow is looking better in his last two quarters than he did in his first six quarters, but a red zone interception will get you every time, especially in a game that has so few possessions. Like each drive that the Ravens did was it felt like it was a grind. It felt like it took forever, and you know every drive that lasted more than 3 plays for the Bengals, was of moderate length. But you know this game ended up. I think they lost one or two possessions off of the running skills of the Ravens, and that was the difference maker in the end. Um, Another thing the defense needs to work on for the Cincinnati Bengals is getting stops in those third and short situations. I remember a lot of games getting rescued
Mm.
off of Akeem Davis Gaither or Jermaine Pratt coming up and absolutely stuffing the running back on those third and ones or those fourth and ones, and that just every time, every time the running backs had all day and all the room in the world to run. So, I'm not blaming the defense because they were gassed by the end of this game, and you could tell. I mean, you can tell I was screaming a lot because I was trying to help that defense out. The offense they've just gotta pick it up. They got to get the pieces all put together. And with Burrow, he's feeling better, but with him very likely not to make an appearance this Monday night, this offense has got to figure it out and fast because they may very well end up with a 0-3 record by the end of this week, and it's going to be tough sledding from there.
Yeah, absolutely, Boogie. Man, where do I even begin? Let's start with the best player this weekend. And I think for the first 2 weeks, and that's going to be Joe Mixon, who is running hard as fuck. He is running so hard. That's weird to see. Okay, we're getting a Joe from like 3 years ago. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Welcome back, Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow just got fooled, man. He got fooled like 5 or 6 times that I saw when you put on the tape in this one, man. One thing that really stood out, and of course, I'm using the help of other analytical minds here. Okay, so I'm not going to pretend like this is all my own observations, but a lot of the general consensus seems to be that Burrow is just processing too fast, and while that may seem like a positive, it's really not. He's not waiting for those windows to open up, right? They played a lot of rotating too high shell. They showed one, dropped into two. They played cover three, but they dropped. They did zero or cover zero a couple times where they dropped 5, and really it just confused them. And I've not really seen Burrow look that confused before. And when he's making his reads, and what was really cool that I've never noticed before is he is reading so fast. He's like snaps the ball, looks, check down immediately. Like no one's there. He's not waiting for them to be there. He's not just throwing up to chase, which is weird that we're not targeting arguably the best player in the NFL like 10 times a game. Like, why aren't we doing that? He got targeted 3 times, maybe, if that. He was wide open on the play that Stone intercepted Burrow in the end zone, and that was perfect and he confused Burrow because they were showing too high shell, right? And what that means is he can throw in the middle of the field. So as Higgins comes up and streaks here, what Stone did is, because Burrow is processing so fast, and they've been watching this the whole game, is he stepped forward. So as soon as Burrow snapped the ball, he looked at Stone, and Stone stepped forward. And then he immediately stared down T. Higgins, and so he ducked and he ran into the middle here. Okay, and it was just perfect. Meanwhile, Jamar Chase over here is wide open in the back of the end zone, wide open and wide the fuck open. Wide open. Like, it's, I don't know, it's just incredible to me that we're not utilizing our talents better. We're not throwing over the middle anymore for whatever reason. There were a couple plays that just got away from us, man. I mean, Joe Burrow looked clean and accurate out there, regardless of him being injured. He made an incredible throw to a tight end that was unfortunately out of bounds early in the game. That was a great throw. And Irv Smith Jr. has been catching the ball and putting it out there fairly well.
I do think this Bengals team is missing Hayden Hurst. Hayden is just a little bit more skilled, a little bit more clutch than Irv Smith has been. But you're right. Irv Smith is starting to come into his own in this offense.
I mean, he
shows some more.
And he did. He caught that shitty ball on 4th and whatever that like should have hit him in the kneecaps or in the shin, but instead he was able to pick it up and get the first down. It's just some things like, I don't know. A lot of people complain about our offense, about the calling. I think we're doing a lot of like new and unique things. It's just different. Like that's how those guys got open, was these new looks. It really confused the defense, especially the Bengals don't like to snap the ball when a man's in motion, but we did that a couple times on Sunday, which really confused the Ravens, and it worked. But the fact that we just give up on those is what confuses me moving forward. So I'm not really sure, where to go here with Cincinnati. I know Joe Burrow retweets that calf, but he even said himself, if they got the ball back, he was going out there. I find it really hard to believe that he's not going to play on Monday. There was a tweet by Garofalo this morning. We're recording this on Wednesday. That he was feeling better. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I really wonder if the fact that he's not able to roll out of the pocket and the absolute drubbing that he took on week 1, I wonder if that sped up some of his looks this week and got him off rhythm and off kilter with his receivers.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've all been there, right? We've all had an injury, and let's say you're like, damn, I know I hurt my shoulder, but I'm gonna reach into the cabinet to get this glass. You're thinking about your shoulder first, and then you're reaching. Okay, so there's got to be some level of subconscious mindset going in when he's reading so fast. He's like, fuck it, I'm just getting this ball out of here. I don't want any pressure. But he had a clean ass pocket for a lot of the game. Of course, there was one sack, I think, like the only sack of the game. But I mean,
What's
generally,
annoying is that the one time that I really saw Joe roll out, it was on that touchdown where he tweaked his calf, and it's like, God damn it! Like, finally he starts to show a little something. He trusts his calf, and then he goes out there and he fucks with it. It sucks.
Yeah, and it does suck, man. And I mean, that's not to say, like it's a soft tissue injury. So, we keep hearing about this soft tissue. He's going to pull an Achilles. He's going to rupture this and that. I mean, could he? Sure. But, an asteroid could also crash into the stadium during a game. Like,
yeah.
That is it going to happen? I mean, it could. It could. I mean, the only person that's ever had a calf injury and had that lead to tearing an Achilles was Kobe Bryant. Okay. Aaron Rodgers had a calf injury, past tense, but that was the tackle where his foot got cemented and he was pulling away. That's what tore his Achilles. It wasn't because he had a calf injury. I mean, now.
Yeah, because the turf in all of the NFC East stadiums is just fucking god awful. Like FedEx Field, famously bad, and MetLife, famously bad turf.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure, didn't Bakhtiari like tweet after the game like, "Hey, you guys need to fix this shit because yet again somebody's getting a major, possibly career-ending injury off of the grass in this place."
Sure, and that's fair, and we can blame the grass, but that tackle is what did it. He got his foot planted, and he literally bent forward so far. Like that's a sack, man, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but I think that ultimately Joe Burrow is going to be good. Listen, even if we start 0-4, I still got hopes for us. We just need him to be better. If he decides to play, I want him to feel like he can. I don't want it to just be like God mode. We just gave this guy the most money ever. So the last thing we need to do is to fuck ourselves macro, right? Just for this micro thing. And I know everybody, all Bengals fans, me included, you included. Okay, we want to see us win this year because that's our expectation now. And Joe Burrow gave that to us. It just really stinks to think that we just may have a pretty mediocre season. It's just weird. It's not something I thought I'd be saying this year. Something else I didn't think I'd be saying is Seattle beating Detroit, who went.
Oh no!
Oh my God! Went to Ford Field and just like, wow, Geno had a little resurgence. Of course, Goff throwing that interception, that was not the play. Jahmyr Gibbs looked really, really good. But Seattle winning 38-31. Boogie, thoughts, feelings?
Well, I think I gave Jared Goff the announcer curse by talking about the interception, the streak. There he is with the interception. He didn't make the record, but he had a good run at it, and of course his numbers look great. I'm also impressed at Jahmyr Gibbs' involvement because I believe I said that the homies should bet the over on the 3.5 receptions and he had, I believe, 7 by the end of the game. So he's very involved in the passing game, and that if the Detroit Lions continue to do that, involve him in the passing game as well as the run game, and make use of his multiple talents, this offense is going to continue to click. Geno Smith may have may not show everything that he did last year, but he's going to have moments. He's a guy who's a gamer. He's been thrown some shitty positions in this league, and now he's finally got a place where he can, build a little bit. I think he's going to be a very serviceable quarterback, and he showed it in this game. I'm impressed with the Seahawks. I'm impressed with Tyler Lockett still coming out here and getting multiple touchdowns a game.
Mm-hmm.
Still the best, flex guy you can have in your flex slot in your fantasy team, just for the multiple touchdown outings. He's a week winner. That's all I got for these guys. Anything you see?
I mean, really, besides Gino turning up in the second half, really Detroit had this game. But again, the answers on defense where they just they got ground down, they got tired, they got worn out. Um,
Hmm.
you know, they had a long rest too, so I wasn't really expecting them to one lose, but secondly lose in overtime, which was weird.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. It was just it was one of very many weird games, in my opinion. Especially when we talk about this Los Angeles Chargers at Tennessee Titans. That was another very, very weird game. Another game where, I mean, of course, they had no Austin Eckler, um, but it's like the fuck they were up. They let Tennessee just do what they want. Ryan
Hmm.
Tannehill looks like he just like woke up out of the hyperbolic time chamber like 4 years ago and was like, all right, I'm gonna start slinging it around now. Like, where the fuck was
Uh-huh.
that last week when you threw 3 interceptions? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, again, we'll do all this in our week 4 recap of the entire season, but it's just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
That
Tannehill.
just really
Tanne-
confused me.
yeah, it is confusing.
And the Chargers
Uh
once again figured out how to lose another game. Um,
huh.
After being up, it's like their favorite thing to do is be in control of a game and lose.
Yeah, yet again, Herbert's throwing a great game out there in the defense, which is the head coach's specialty and should be something he pays special attention to. The defense just looks non-functional. Allows Tannehill a very efficient 20 for 24. Allows Tannehill 10 yards per attempt.
Mhm.
Um, just allows Derrick Henry to run all over him. It's
Yeah, it
just
was
troubling.
dude, extremely troubling. You know what else is troubling? The Chicago Bears, who visited the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this weekend and still don't really know what the hell they're doing on offense. Thank goodness we saved ourselves here. What was the final in that one, Book?
Going to be Tampa Bay 27, Chicago 17.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Baker Mayfield is looking like a guy out there. Pay Mike Evans is trending on Twitter. And you can bet
Um,
that, especially starting 2-0 now, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers squad is going to start really gaining momentum. They're going to be playing with a lot less pressure. Baker's
yeah.
actually slinging the ball out there. The running back White had a great outing. Um, Meanwhile, on the other side, Justin Fields looks confused at best. I mean, they don't have David Montgomery anymore, so they can't really run the ball. Um, they don't have guys open. They don't know what they want to do. They want to do a lot of like quarterback designed runs and shit, which they're boy, I don't know, dude.
Hmm.
But Chicago just did not look the part this weekend, and Tampa Bay really looked like a well-oiled machine out there. Defense looked good, of course, playing against what feels like a rookie quarterback in his third year. It's just it's unbelievable.
The people on Twitter are absolutely correct. Mike Evans, of course, he's been in this league 9 years, not even 10-year veteran yet. He's got over 10,000 receiving yards. He's got over 80 touchdowns. I mean, he has been good consistently every year for at least 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, no matter who's throwing him the damn ball. He is possibly the most underrated talent that we have at receiver in the league. Definitely the most consistent. If they're not, I don't know what they're paying him right now. I can, look at that while I continue to talk. You're just looking at two teams right now who are on the complete opposite track of each other. If like as far as the quarterback goes, like Justin Fields, we were looking at him as the next, as another Lamar Jackson, as the next best dual threat quarterback. And I mean, here we go. This guy is in what, year 5? No, I'm joking, but he is so far along in his career to still be making the same mistakes. What does it come down to? Like, are they not scheming him properly? Are they not giving him his easy opportunities that he's used to? Are they not installing plays that he likes? Are they not doing enough design runs? Are they doing too many? Is he just not? Is he just another Ohio State quarterback that just is not good in this league? and was getting carried by his receivers while he was at Ohio State. And meanwhile Baker's out there slinging it, and he's playing free and clear. Yeah, why the fuck are you paying Mike Evans $13 million this year? Are you kidding me? Did this guy really 5-year $82 million? Yeah, he needs to get paid molto pronto. They need to extend him ASAP. He deserves it. He's definitely an inclusion on the Ring of Honor one day. So you need to stop.
100%.
This guy's 6 receptions for 171 in this game. I mean, he out there fucking cooking. My God,
balling,
he's making Baker Mayfield look good.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Jesus, I don't know, bro. I'll tell you one thing I do know is that Jacksonville just did not play well at home, hosting the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City that came into this game, getting back Chris Jones, getting back Travis Kelce. But it looked like they just did not know how to stop him. It was a pretty low-scoring affair at first. I thought, this game was really going to tie up. But Trevor Lawrence even said his play was embarrassing himself in his post-game presser. He just wasn't impressed with how he played. He didn't like how he played. And, really, that's all there is to it, man. He had a shitty game he had a very winnable game. I think it was, 20?
Nope. Lower.
17
to 9.
17 to 9. My God. That's you're right there, bro. You're a touchdown out of that game. And I think that if they would have played a little more efficient on the offensive side of the ball, there's no reason why Jacksonville couldn't have won this game. But of course, Travis Kelce getting a touchdown. It's just like now that he's back, the team suddenly looks good. Kadarius Toney had some receptions. He was playing well. I don't know, Bug. What'd you see from this one?
I don't see a really dirty game. The Kansas City Chiefs maybe this is just a great team that's stumbling out of the gate, kind of like Cincinnati Bengals. There's a lot of penalties, 12 penalties for 94 yards. Jawan Taylor, the guy who's been lining up offsides, all of week 1, got penalized 5 times just by himself, twice for false starts, once for an illegal formation, and twice for holding. You can't have that out of your right tackle. A guy who's supposed to be probably a leader on this team. You need to coach that shit out of him. I told the homies to bet under on this game. I didn't expect it to be quite so low. But, I hope you bet that under because this was an ugly one.
Yeah, 100% did. I'm going to talk about ugly. The Indianapolis Colts, who went to the Houston, Texas, and just put a fucking burger on them. Anthony Richardson, I think in the second quarter, already had 2 rushing touchdowns and was well on his way to a historic game, but felt that something wasn't right. So he went to the sideline and he self-diagnosed a concussion and sat out the rest of the game, which I've never heard of ever. That shows a lot of maturity. Very, very, very impressive.
Yeah.
From a rookie quarterback, nonetheless. And Houston just looked out of sync. Shit. You want to talk about the number 1 pick? I think Houston's trending towards it right now. Boogie.
For my Cardinals, who I'm not really cheering for this year, I'll take that number 1 pick. Get them some Caleb Williams in this building, but always glad to see Gardner Minshew out here getting some play. Probably the Ryan Fitzpatrick of this current generation of quarterbacks. Not quite good enough that you want him playing for long stints, but it's always nice to see him get out there and sling it around the yard.
Yeah, he's played well.
Absolutely,
played really well.
Impressive numbers from C.J. Stroud out here with nearly 400 yards in the game, but. As we said, this is the rebuilding team bowl, and this was an absolute snooze fest. didn't know that Anthony Richardson self-diagnosed the concussion, but I'm glad to see that he's taking
Isn't
care of
that
himself
crazy?
because
Isn't that crazy?
I,
So,
yeah,
so the story goes for those of you playing along at home. The story is that after he ran in that second touchdown, he's like on the sideline and he's like looking around back and forth, and he just didn't feel like sharp. So
hmm
he was like, "Hey, I just don't feel correct," or whatever his verbiage was. So that they took him in the tent. They gave him a concussion test and found that he had suffered a concussion. Um, you just wonder if this is going to be a lingering thing with him, much like a Tua Tagovailoa. We hope not.
yeah,
But I really wish the best. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be able to play this upcoming weekend, just given that he's self-diagnosed and he seemed aware enough to be able to do that. It's not like he got knocked out.
yeah. He's unfortunately still out, and his status for this week is unclear. But he got a knee contusion the first week, and he gets a concussion this week. Hearing this and just thinking about how Andrew Luck, another Colts quarterback drafted high, had to retire from the league after 7 years because of injury concerns. It makes me really worry for the young guy, and I just hope that the Indianapolis Colts are taking care of him, and Coach Shane Steichen is getting in his ear and letting him know that he needs to protect himself not only for the Colts' future but for his own future as a
100%.
professional football player.
Yeah, dead ass, man. Tell you who needs to protect their future is a professional football player.
Yeah, you tell me, man. I mean,
No, I don't know. That was a bad segue, but let's go ahead and talk about San
that's all right.
Francisco 49ers that led their way to a victory against the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, Matthew Stafford covering the spread in garbage time. What a day, kid.
Yeah,
Um,
hate him
I
for
think it
that.
was 30-24, if I'm not mistaken, Book.
30 to 23. 30 to 23.
Mm.
So a good push when you're not playing by our rule set, but a bad beat for us under this rule set we're operating with.
Yeah, 100%, man. It was a good game for San Francisco. Of course, Matthew Stafford again throwing it all over the yard. Brock Purdy looks clean out there. I think San Francisco may roll, dude. They may end up being fucking like 15-2 by the end of it. If they do lose, it's going to be because somebody's not playing, not because they are not playing well themselves. Um, God, Boogie, is there anything that really stood out to you?
Just impressive work by the 49ers, just working over these Los Angeles Rams, who looked like they were going to be, a hot little item to, really push at them. Shout outs to Puka Nakwa for getting 15 receptions for 147 yards. That is Cooper Cup numbers right there with the reception level. Shows that he's got Matthews' trust right off the bat. Um, if the 49ers can continue to play this effortlessly and get this much pressure on defense, then yeah, it's gonna be an easy roll through this NFC that's looking very vulnerable, very top heavy. The only concern is along with that other team on the West Coast, the Los Angeles Chargers. San Francisco seems to have had the worst injury luck over the past 5 years, and you just hope for their sake that injury luck does not or rather injury bad luck does not continue, and they get through this year relatively intact and fresh for the playoffs, where they might be a sneaky little pick, or maybe not even sneaky, for the Super Bowl win.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, you want to talk about something that really surprised me. Kyron Williams, who came out and just had one hell of a day. I think he had a couple of scores on the ground. But I think the big question here for the Rams is where the fuck is Cam Akers at? And why doesn't Sean McVay like him? I don't know what's going on there, but Cam Akers was a healthy scratch on Sunday. That's the big news here.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even know he wasn't going to play until a couple hours before the game. And that's like, what the fuck? And he was healthy. He has no injury designation. So that's going to be something to look at moving forward. Cam Akers,
Seems like
I think, is a good back.
Seems like Sean McVay is taking after his former coworker, Kyle Shanahan and just like finding all of his first round picks and just finding a way to hate him. It's like,
I know, right?
I mean, like all the people that he hand picks, he's just like, yeah, after a season, I don't like you anymore. Get out of my building. Like, such a weird vibe.
That is a weird vibe, man. So I hope Cam finds, a good team in the league to play for. That'll be cool.
Maybe the Cleveland Browns.
Maybe the Cleveland Browns, actually. That's actually a really good idea.
You might be able to restock the cupboard a little bit with Cam Akers. And, Cleveland's got to believe that they can get more out of him than 22 carries for 28 yards with their run-heavy scheme.
Yeah, 100%, man. I completely agree. But then, of course, what was his name? Gerald Ford, I think, is their backup. He didn't really play too hot.
That's a president, Garth.
Huh? Yeah,
that's a president.
That is a president, but I don't know his name. What's his name? Something Ford?
I'm gonna guess Demetrius. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
running back.
I guess. Shit.
Sheesh. His name is Jerome.
Okay, I was closest without going over. All right.
Yeah.
We're playing Bryce's Right rules.
Oh man. Boy.
Yeah, so Jay Ford is not he just did not look the part. But of course we'll talk about that later as we get down to that game.
Let's not forget that Kareem Hunt's also in the building for the Cleveland Browns right now.
Is he really?
Maybe they'll just
they may just
apparently he's paying a visit, so they may just snap him back up.
Yeah, they might as well because he played extremely well. And he knows the system. I mean, that's just smart. It's just smart.
If he can recreate 2,000-yard season from his rookie year, or anything close to it, that'll keep the Cleveland Browns treading water.
Yeah, 100%, man. Dude, talk about a team that's treading water out here. The fucking New York Giants, who came back from a 20-point deficit in the second half somehow and beat the Arizona Cardinals. I was like, dude, I saw this game. I'm like, holy shit, the Cardinals are up. What was it? It was like,
it's I think
damn, I guess
21-0.
Yeah, 21-0, and I was just like, holy shit, Arizona is really putting a burner on the Giants. Look like shit, and then all of a sudden, the fucking Giants come back and win. I think it was 31-28 was the final in this one.
Yeah, it was 31-28. You got that right.
Okay, so I covered. I definitely lost here. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, 5 minutes left in the fourth. Suddenly, the win chances are flipping completely for the Giants. This was a perfect. This was perfect for the Arizona Cardinals. They spent the game showing people that their defense can get it done, letting people know for next year that they're going to be, very functional on defense, and maybe Arizona's a place to be if you want to put up numbers. But then they did a perfect tank job. They gave it up and gave it away, maintaining that 0-2 record.
What the fuck are they doing? This is back-to-back weeks where they put on like a valiant effort and then just disappear. Like, I don't understand.
You don't understand? This is exactly what they're wanting to do. The GM made a call to Coach Gannon with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's like, lose me this game.
Damn.
Lose me this game right now.
That's just embarrassing.
Houston's getting that number 1 pick. Arizona's gunning for that number 2 pick. It may be the most blatant tank job since the process.
Yeah, no shit. I just, goodness, that's embarrassing, man.
Speaking of embarrassing.
Yeah, you want to talk about these fucking New York Jets that went into Dallas and got absolutely steamrolled? Steamrolled, bro. Dallas is just looking like a horse, man. The fudge. They're playing so incredibly well right now. They look really, really good.
Yeah,
all the way.
I want Tyreek Hill and Micah Parsons. I wish there was a way for them to do like 100-yard dash, but only with their like first 10 yards. Their burst and acceleration off the line because Micah Parsons is in that backfield before you can say go.
No, I know that shit was wild, dude. The first drive of the game, Micah Parsons just like runs straight through the line on a stunt, and like there's nothing stopped him. Zach Wilson had zero chance. Once again, you know, we talk about we're going to, as a league, blame Zach Wilson for being a bad quarterback, yet realize that this offensive line is absolute hot garbage that wouldn't even get recycled in China. Like, it's embarrassing that we are even having these conversations like, oh, Zach Wilson just ain't it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I mean, he had a dime to Garrett Wilson, who ran for like 76 yards and a touchdown. And I mean, he had some good throws, but again, like, when the line collapses against the best defense in the league, what can you do? Like really?
Yeah.
What can you do? Because, you know, really, Dallas just had to play keep away. And it was just an embarrassing day for the New York Jets, man. Jets, Jets. I don't know.
It's really nice for the Cowboys to be able to set themselves up to look really good in front of the entire nation. They have that Sunday night football game against a Giants team that's looking very vulnerable, very weak. Almost lost to the Cardinals. You know, their first 3 weeks is against the Giants, the Jets, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Jets, the Cardinals. Yeah.
Oh,
wouldn't that be nice? Just running it in. And then their fourth week's against the Patriots, actually. So they might come out 4-0, and they might look like they might be a paper tiger, but they might come out looking like the best team in the league, especially with Micah Parsons running around the way he is.
Yeah, 100%.
Their first big test will be week 5, right after our big analysis. So we'll see how right or wrong we and everybody else is about the Cowboys.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a fucking bar burner, dude.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, goodness gracious, dude. You want to talk about a team that's on the opposite end that's equally as embarrassing as the New York Jets is the motherfucking Denver Broncos, who blew a huge lead to the Washington Commanders. I mean, Russ had some, like the Hail Mary throw, that was fucking nuts. That bounced off like 2 people and scored, but they couldn't get the 2-point conversion to tie the game and go into overtime. This one was 35-33, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Washington. So I'll give you these real quick, Bug. I really thought Denver was going to win this one. They were up early. Playing great.
You know,
and just shit the bed in the back half.
I am really impressed that, you know, Riverboat Ron is one of the most conservative coaches in the league, and he's definitely talked himself out of that nickname that he got all those years ago. But I mean, I do appreciate the fact that the Washington Commanders still have a propensity for, you know, high variance gunslinger quarterbacks. Even if Sam Howell looks like the whitest of the Wonder Breads, he's still out here. He's unafraid. He doesn't give a shit about his touchdown interception ratio. You know, as long as he's out here gutting out a win.
Yeah, who cares?
You know.
I mean, Washington's 2-0, man. You've got 3 teams that are 2-0 in the NFC East. Like, what is going on with that?
Now, I just said that Dallas may be a paper tiger, but, you know, it seems like Washington is, you know, playing against a Denver Broncos team that's 0-2, that doesn't look like they have it together yet. Doesn't look like they've figured out their identity or how they want to, you know, how they want to use Wilson, how they want to attack this season. Yeah, it's just it's a weird one. I mean, of all the teams to come out 2-0, I mean, Washington maybe the most unexpected.
Yeah, 100%, man. But there is one thing we can't expect, and that's Mike McDaniels put on a show. Anytime he's on the field, the Miami Dolphins looking absolutely incredible against these New England Patriots on Sunday night footy. They played extremely well. Miami, of course, Tyreek Hill again going off, burning it. Jalen Waddle burning it. You know, Fucking Tua did have one pick, which I thought was weird. But I mean, outside of that, like, he looked great. And Daniel Jones looked mediocre the entire game. Um, I just really don't know what this Patriot team wants. I mean, Devontae Parker looked like he had a couple of good like breaks. Who's the running back? Stevenson. I mean, he looked like he was kind of finding his way. But again, at the end of the third quarter, to be finding your way as a running back, it's a little late. I mean, obviously the defense is going to be tired. Like, what are we doing here? And I don't know. It looked like it was going to be a close one for a while. I think it was like 17-10. And I was like, oh shit. You know, the Patriots might come back. There was a nice touchdown to Henry. What's his name? Hunter Henry or something?
Hunter Henry. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing extremely well. But I don't know. The Patriots are just, dude, they're in a fucking absolutely loaded AFC East. There's no way they get out of there. They'll probably be third in the division because the Jets are going to lose. New England will win some games, but the Jets will not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just kind of feels like New England's rebuilding right now. They don't really know what they want to do on offense. I mean, the defense still looks good. Of course, that's Bill Belichick's staple, but man,
Right.
Mike McDaniels is looking so creative. Dude, Tyreek is just always open. It's unreal. I just don't get it. You know, I mean, is there anything you saw from this game that really stood out?
Of course, Raheem Mostert coming out here and, I don't know, this guy's like 45 years old and, or it was like a rookie when he was 27 or something. And he's still out here just, putting down a buck 20 on all of us and being one of the fastest fuckers in the league. Mike McDaniel really rose to the challenge of defeating a Belichick-led defense. Tua didn't dazzle, but he was definitely functional enough, and of course the running game completely paced this game. I do want to talk a little bit about the Patriots. Mac Jones should not be throwing 42 times a game. He should not be throwing probably more than 30 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He is one of those guys you do not want to have the ball in his hands a lot. Ramondre Stevenson last year I thought was a very good running back, a kind of guy you could lean on for, 15 to 20 carries a game. And, like you said, he was just trying to find himself out there. And it's just hard when you're the New England Patriots and you've drafted so well on defense, but you have wasted basically every single high pick you've ever made for the offense on guys like N'Keal Henry, who I think is either on a practice squad for like the Raiders or he's just out of the league right now. Mm-hmm. Every time they've tried to pick a receiver, every time they've tried to pick a skill position, they've fallen flat. And they just keep on stacking up tight ends to just kind of throw out there. But it's not helping anything. It's not creating an offense. You chose last year to use a defensive guy to be your offensive coordinator. And this year you got Bill O'Brien back, but he's not able to do much with
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. I mean, he needs Mac Jones to throw 40 times a game. It's not the guy. You're not making your offense work for the guy that you've got. Also, I didn't know that they have Mike Gesicki on the Patriots. Why do you need so many fucking tight ends if you're not going to run the ball efficiently or you're not going to use
tight ends too, which is confusing.
It's just Belichick's propensity on the offensive side to just like have slow white guys just on every position he can. It's just not gonna. It's not gonna fuck.
No, it's not gonna work, man. But one thing New England can be proud of is Christian Gonzalez, their first round pick, cornerback out of Oregon. Of course, he had that big interception. That really allowed the Patriots to have an opportunity to come back in this game, but it just did not work out. So, man, I'll tell you something that didn't work out as well is Carolina hosting the New Orleans Saints. No car. We had Carolina losing in this one. It was super close. What was it, like 24-20, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, 20-17. Nearly the perfect football game.
20? Really? I thought New Orleans had 24.
20.
Damn it.
That's all they managed.
So I didn't.
Just the most like average, the most Mendoza line quarterback performance you could possibly have out of Derek Carr. You know, a good 228 yards off of 36 attempts, an interception. Of course, Taysom Hill's still out here getting carries in the run game. That must be just wild for him.
100%.
I can't imagine. I think he's my age, and I can't imagine being out there, being 6'4" and like 245 pounds like Taysom Hill is. Just at my age, taking hits like that in the run game. That's for 17 billion a year when I'm supposed to be a quarterback. It's a tough life.
Yeah, that's an extremely tough life. Not like the tough life that Nick Chubb's going to have after taking that devastating hit from Ryan Clark on Monday Night Football that has now potentially ended his career. That's just what I'm saying. It's that same knee he injured in 2015 when he had a PCL, MCL, and ACL tear when he was playing in college. So you're talking he was in college in 2015, bro. I mean, I really thought Cleveland was going to win this game. They came out strong. A couple early interceptions off of Kenny Pickett. I think there was like 4 interceptions in this game alone.
Ugly football.
I don't know. Like
all sides.
Pickens had a good touchdown, but outside of that, I mean, man, I don't know, dude. It was just, all things considered, an embarrassing performance for Cleveland. Deshaun Watson looked out of sorts. He didn't know who to throw to. His connection with Amari Cooper looked incredible all game, but as soon as Nick Chubb was gone, he had 6 carries for 74 yards or something early in the game, and it was like, oh, dude, he's going to have fucking 200 at this point if they keep doing this. And then, what was it, a 2-point conversion or something where he got hit like that? And that's really all she wrote, man. And then, good old Jerome Ford just did not look the part. Of course, he caught that. Pardon me. He got that touchdown back there, but, really didn't matter at that point, in my opinion. Kind of dropped the bag at that point. Cleveland, their defense came to play. They had a lot of sacks, fumble recoveries, interceptions as well. It was a really just grinded out AFC North slugfest. What was the final in this one, Book?
That was a 22 for the Cleveland Browns and 26 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it was this was a really up and down game for both teams. It's just like the fact that Deshaun Watson managed to get himself two unsportsmanlike conducts for grabbing face masks as he was running. That to me is just like the epitome of how weirdly dysfunctional the Cleveland Browns are when they don't have Nick Chubb out there being the steady heartbeat of this offense. The defense can be great all at once, and it has been for several years. But the Cleveland Browns, when they don't have literally the best running back in the league, Deshaun Watson wasn't the choice to make when you were trying to, short circuit your way to playoff contention or, a possible Super Bowl. Because I don't know what it is. Like, is he not getting enough ribs anymore because he's not in Houston? Like, is he not getting, well, he's probably not getting the right massages to really feel relaxed and ready for games. So he doesn't look very good out here. And if the Cleveland Browns want to, make any noise in the AFC North this season, I think they do need to go after a running back on the market, spend a little change, and find somebody. But the Steelers, if they can keep having, defensive efforts like TJ Watt scoop and score late in the game, they might be able to make some noise and, flip the switch on all the haters and there was a lot of them in the media who put the Steelers at the bottom of the table for the AFC North this season. Out here with a losing record, like something like 6-11 or 7-10. They still look like gamers out here, even though Kenny Pickett still does not look like a functional NFL quarterback either. Overall, very ugly game. Glad I didn't see it. Glad I didn't take the time to watch it. Glad I didn't see what happened to Nick Chubb. Prayers up to that dude. I hope he can. Even if he can't get back to football, I hope he's doing well and he can get back to being able to walk. Period.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Prayers up to Nick Chubb. Really great effort, man. It's always stinks seeing somebody get injured like that, and especially, a great talent, in the NFL, which is always fun to watch. It's highly unfortunate. People come before sports, so hope you're doing good out there, Nick. Let's talk about these props, though, big dog. Interceptions league-wide, nailed that one. We're in the green. Atlanta had over 200 rush yards, I presume?
211 to go with their over 200 on offense. So I thought it would be, like 100 on passing and 200 on rushing. But they were pretty balanced attack, even though they didn't beat their 1.5 spread. Just aggravating. I wish I had gotten that earlier spread this week when it was still, Green Bay favored.
Yeah, 100%, man. We would have nailed it in that one. Well, I guess we're gonna hop over to Monday Night Football, where we've got San Francisco favored by 10. I'll make this easy. I'm not gonna overthink this.
Yep. Oops. Oopsie.
Hit this. Go ahead.
Setting a green already. Love this.
Is that too much? Yeah, I guess we shouldn't highlight it, huh? I'll just set it on. I'll just set it on this. No way New York beats San Francisco at home. No way does New York even keep this close. San Francisco is rolling right now, scoring 30 points a game. They're frying. Boogie.
I want to talk to
no Saquon Barkley for 3 weeks. So something to think about there.
I want to talk to the homies real quick about this. Homies, I love you. I'm trying to give you good betting advice from my, own knucklehead perspective. A double-digit spread in the NFL it's almost never advisable to bet the favorite on that one. There's just the NFL is too close. The average margin of victory is never. It's never. I don't think it's ever going to be double digits, even on a week-by-week basis. That being said, the fact that Cowboys were able to put their dick in the dirt, and the fact that the Arizona Cardinals were able to make some noise against them, despite the fact that their dicks are in the dirt. I hate betting a double-digit spread in the NFL, but this one honestly, I'll take my lumps if I have to. This one does make a lot of sense. Highlight everything in the universe, but I'm also going to go San Francisco both ways, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, that's an easy one there, Boogie. Of course, we'll go ahead and fill out the rest of the matchups, man, as we get caught up this Saturday for our Week 3 Spectacular, man, where we talk about all the games and what we're really looking forward to seeing from them. We'll also review this Thursday night game, which I still feel like is going to be a blowout. Boogie, is there anything else on your mind before we get out of here, Big Doge?
Do you want to guess what the lowest ticket price is currently for Week 3 and for what team?
Yes, I'm going to go $57, and I'm going to say
you just have to guess one team that it's involved.
Oh, just one team that's involved?
Yeah.
You mean like what matchup this upcoming week? It's probably something with Carolina or Houston.
Okay. Very good guesses. I would have gone right along with you. The lowest ticket price this week is $29 for the Tennessee at Cleveland matchup in Cleveland Brown Stadium.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So so for $3, you can show up to the you can show up to the Cleveland game and cheer your heart out for those elves.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
guessing it's because people see that Nick Chubb is gone and it's like, oh, so this team's going to do nothing. And they look at Tennessee and they're like, oh, this team's been doing nothing and has been only winning games by 3 point. Like they're literally on, I think, every time they've won a game, it's been by 3 points or less, like something like
mhm.
double digit streak. So it's going to be a low scorer. I mean, look at this game to be an over underline of maybe like 35. I think is probably realistic for this one. Um, that's ugly work, folks.
100%, bro. That is fucking wild. I did not see that coming, but thanks as always for your enlightening perspective, Boogie. That being said, man, we'll catch y'all Saturday. And from one dope bro to another, y'all enjoy the rest of this beautiful week, man. Let's go.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Peace.